Hi everybody, my name is Shelby Jones. I am a graphic designer, a 3D artist, and brand new to the field. I am a holographic animator. It's super weird, cutting edge technology, and I'm going to talk to you guys about it and hopefully inspire a few of you to take up the reins and let's march forward into the new tech. So I currently have 3 of my pieces in the Pensacola Museum of Art. Now, holograms are not something that you technically see in art very much. I mean, they're cool because in order to create a hologram, you're working with physics and light and the distortion of light and how you can actually get that information imprinted onto a stagnant piece of glass or some kind of handheld item. So when I was a child, holograms were on Pogs. We had them on all sorts of cool stuff. We even had them on trading cards. But I didn't want to just go with the traditional. I originally was going to, but I found something a little cooler. So Sand at Play is actually a combination of a lot of shorts when it comes down to it. Stan is dancing, Stan says hi, Stan gets scared, Stan and Mossy. Now, Stan and Mossy didn't get the chance to make it all the way into the museum because Mossy is a new character and the movement of Mossy ended up being a little bit too much like Stan, and I wanted Mossy to have his own personality. So Mossy was left out, but this is Stan at Dance. We have this cute little fluff ball who's just dancing around, floating there, spreading his little joy everywhere. I personally absolutely adore this, but I've spent 3 years building them. So Stan didn't start off this way. Stan was not my cute little fluffy jittery thing that dances around and is a ball of fun. Stan actually had a very dark side to him until I decided that I wanted him to have more of a personality and I wanted him to interact with the world. And I needed to have a better understanding of what it meant for the idea of an alien. Now, I had kicked this around for a long time on different sci-fi movies, different TV shows, different things out there that talk about aliens and what they want and why they're here and da da da, all these different things. And that's kind of the process that I took into. I wanted the concept of Stan to really explain why he's here. I didn't want just some alien just showed up one day to suck on our face and then pound out of our chest and start dancing on the table, singing, "Hello, my honey, hello, my darling, hello, my ragtime girl." And if you get that joke, you are the coolest person I know today. So, I wanted people to have more of a connection with him and an understanding of he's here. We don't know why he's here exactly yet, but he's here. And so, he came all this way. Why is he here? Well, that's kind of where we're going to go with this. Now, Stan started off more of a War of the Worlds. 1950s. I wanted to go back to my roots on this one. I wanted all the fun of Tim Burton's uh, Mars Attacks kind of feel. I wanted some really crazy, fun things happening. So this is what Stan started looking like. Sorry, Stan, you're just not cool enough for this anymore. Not to mention, there were a lot of conflicting issues with him being a robot or something along the lines of shiny when I was going over the overall aesthetics. So when you're getting stuck on what something's going to look like, it's best just to draw. Just start drawing. And I'm telling you, I drew about 900 versions of Stan. It was crazy. I have books upon books upon books of just Stans. And my daughter thinks it's fun to look through them. But Stan is a pencil pusher, and he was looking at the data. The data basically told him that humans were just this creature running around being all aggressive towards each other. They're very destructive creatures. So he wasn't even going to worry about them. Because in his world, we were just a bunch of monkeys throwing rocks at each other. That's what he came to the conclusion on. But bugs. Bugs are the dominant species on Earth, according to Stan. Because if you look at bugs, insects, and different kinds of creepy crawlies, they outnumber everything on this planet. Except for salt and sand. Sand wins. But bugs are 1.4 billion to one human. So his money was on the bugs, which honestly, if you've been to Florida during the summer, right at dusk, the bugs win every time. So he came to the conclusion that bugs are what he's going to have to deal with. He's contending to take over the world, and he needs to take care of the bugs. So he didn't need to be any bigger than my thumb. But, as I said, I was getting stuck on what should Stan even look like. So I decided he's taking over the world. He's the size of my thumb. Let's go find out where he would be. Where is he? He's out here in the world, in the woods, talking to other mushrooms that he's planted here because they're recon. And he got some disturbing information, so he's come all the way out here. He's upper management, mind you, to find out what on earth they're talking about. The humans are not. No, humans are dumb. It's the bugs he's worried about. He even developed the fungus that can invade a ant or wasp or bee to actually take over their bodies, and then when the animal dies, it eats the body and produces more of itself. He designed that. That's his baby. So this is kind of where we were. We were dealing with a stump, and I wanted to kind of take that and really push it into my design. And God, I tried. I took my first 3D class without YouTube for the first time ever in fall of 2020 with Thomas. And I blame him 100% for what I've produced because he set me on fire, man. I love animation, but I have a problem drawing the same thing in a different viewpoint and having it coherent. So 3D animation just screamed, yes, thank God. So now I have 3D animations. And oh my goodness, not only do I have 3D animations, we should take this 5 steps further and make a freaking hologram out of it. Well, you can obviously see the animations that I first put together, and then my horrendous beginnings of my 3D start. And I'm telling you, I am so sorry to even show you that. But working with this actually pushed me farther and made me a better artist in the long run. Now, because we have the beginnings of what the world is going to look like, what on earth is Stan going to look like? Well, here he is. These were the prototypes that I used, the final prototypes that I used to put in the scene and actually see how it looks and how it interacts with the light sources and how it's going to really pop off the page, so to say, and really just push everything a little bit further than it needed to. Stan looked the best with the red hair. He was based off of a fungus that you would grow, that was growing in somebody's fridge somewhere, or a bottle brush tree or bush. Bottle brush bush. Pretty sure that's what it's called. Say that five times fast. But I wanted him to be a hologram. How on earth am I going to make a hologram? Well, it took a long time to find out that I did not want to eventually just make the stagnant holograms. I contacted 5 different companies. I actually talked to an artist who makes amazing holograms, and he was telling me about how the light works. I actually took a physics class, and I kind of got really into it, but I wasn't exactly what I wanted until I found Looking Glass Factory. This company is absolutely cutting edge, gorgeous, one-of-a-kind pieces are able to be made in this. Those stupid fans are just optical illusions. They're not holograms. This is true holograms. So all of Stan's animations actually made it into it. Each one of the scenes are broke down into 48 different viewpoints, 48 different views for one scene. So each time that you're looking at it, you're actually looking at a different animation that has been what's called quilted together to perform this. When you're building the animations, it can take up to 8 days for one animation to be complete. Now, that sounds insane, but that's why Stan is what he is, and that's why all the others are how they're put together. But I also learned something massive that no one told me, probably because nobody knew about it. But when you're building a hologram, especially an animation hologram, you need to be very mindful about your depth field, because as you can see on this one, it starts to distort the further you get away from the focal plane, and it does it in reverse too. So the closer it is to the camera can distort as well. So all of his animations needed that time, needed that process, needed everything to kind of just come together. But if you're going to do this, I'm going to make a huge suggestion. Render out one image. Just render the whole thing out a quilt. Then transfer that one quilt into your hologram, into your if you're getting Looking Glass, render it out and put it in there. You're going to be able to go, oh my God, what was I thinking? I cannot tell you how many times my husband heard me say that in the next room while building these. Because you have only 8, you get 8 days to wait to see if it works. Render one, see if it works. If it doesn't, then you can change and you're not wasting 8 days. Can't even tell you how many times I messed up. So that's my bit of advice for you. But when you're doing this, you're going to see something that you're not expecting. It comes out. And then you're going to be filled with so much joy that it worked. and it looks gorgeous. And all that heartache, all of the pain that it took to do this melts away. And that overwhelming feeling of euphoria, just overwhelming. It's wonderful. And this is where I get to say thank you all. Thank you for looking and watching this animation process. And thank you to the entire staff of University of West Florida who was there to support me during all of this. We have amazing teachers that even if they don't know how to help you with the final project, they can help you design and keep in mind the basics like John did for me and Joseph. He pushed this even further with small suggestions that I would have never come up with. Having a team looking through your stuff as you build is going to make a huge difference, and having a support staff is amazing. Looking Glass is a huge help as well. Their staff is always out to help you. They are available for you in almost every form you could ask for. So thank you all for watching this. Thank you to my amazing teachers, and thank you all out there for everything. All right, have a good night. Bye, everybody.